Yes, extremely impressive.
Yes, so it gives me great confidence as well that we're going to be able to continue this, and it's not going to be some backlash that already in the papers it started where there's people wanting to change the ruling, but they'll. I think it just, like you said, it's a civil rights issue.
Yes.
And it boils down to that. Whether you agree or don't agree, I mean, we're allowed to have our opinions in that matter, but ultimately, it is a civil right.
And I think as people realize, once this takes place on the 24th, and we start obtaining license, legal marriage, the world's not going to collapse.
Right.
It potentially can boost our economy here in Iowa, and it's just more loving, stable families. It's, we're good citizens. We do good things.
Well, yes, I remember when I first heard you speak one time, you made a point of saying how disappointed McKinley was. Came home from school, all her kids talk about their parents, and McKinley was assuming all parents are married. Came home and learned that her parents couldn't be at that time, and she was
only about 4 years old at the time, and no one sets out to explain to their child, oh, by the way, your parents are not legally married. It just, it didn't ever come up in conversation, and we didn't think to say that. We just always thought she knew, and she was shocked.
We're a family.
Yeah. And so, at that point, we kind of downplayed that aspect. We were a committed couple that were married in our hearts, and that wasn't going to change. And she was crushed. I think it was a very difficult time for her to then try and figure it out. And then we had to kind of go back in and patch that up and say, but no, it's okay. Even though we don't have a piece of paper, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be together. And next year, we'll sit down at the breakfast table and have breakfast. We'll still be a family. And after that, and after that. And that's okay.
Right.
And, we would like to get legally married. And given that opportunity, absolutely. But we will still be a family. And those aren't conversations that just roll off the tongue. It was a challenge to come up with that. But, it's an incredible feeling to be able to, do this now and actually have this right. And, the kids are busy with their ideas, and, Bree's figured out we need 3 cakes, and, the important details are being hammered out now. So.
We're going to have so many people, we need 3 cakes.
Yes, and the insulin offerings, I don't know.
So they're very excited. And
so she's planning the ceremony for you.
They definitely both have their own ideas. And the thing is they're not in agreement with each other on a whole lot of things. Some negotiations going to happen.
It's fun, though. And it'll be a fabulous Pride this June. A lot of celebrating.
A lot of celebrating in June
Yes,
Pride.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. And they already have a peer group, too, with, we have a group called Proud Families that, and so it's set up so that they do have a peer group. And they play, and the kids play, and then the adults get to just kind of hang out and chat. And that's been really nice, and I think...
We've done that for about, since we've been in Iowa, 8 years now.
Yeah.
So once a month we all get together, and the kids play, and so they've grown up together, which has been nice.
Right. So they see other families like their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So.
I've, in the lengthy reading I've done, there are some places where they have a campground.
Camp Lavender Hill.
Is
Up
one of
in,
them.
Is
Oh, so
one
they
in
have one
California.
here in Iowa?
We don't.
No, that's
a
one
big
in
dream.
California.
Yeah.
We'd love to do something like that.
So
but-
that's one of the things that will come along with more contact and the groups growing bigger and
Mhm. Well, we do a camp out every year, so it's not like a sleepaway camp like one of those would be, but we try and do things like, we do a camp out every year. We
Mhm.
go to the apple orchard as a group every year, and what else? We've done other things,
Went to Wasserbon together,
Yeah.
and just ways to meet up and have the kids have their peers, and it's fun for us too because we get to hang out with each other, and we wouldn't always meet up with one another in our daily lives because we have varying professions, but
Right.
so it's a nice way to connect.
Some people are nurses, some are
Mhm.
teachers, some are university professors, some are
some
clerks
physicians.
in the old where,
Yep.
Mhm.
duty operators, chauffeurs, taxi drivers.
Mhm. Absolutely. We come from all walks of life, and, and our kids play the same games,
When Nell and I came home from the celebration Friday on the
Mhm.
Pentecost, lo and behold, our taxi driver was a lesbian.
Oh, neat.
Um, we didn't call up the company and demand a lesbian driver.
I bet she was happy to go to the rally to pick somebody up.
yeah.
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 And-
Because we are everywhere.
Right.
I mean, we're just people, and we're community members, and
Right.
we're all trying to make our world a better place. So,
Mhm.
and this ruling certainly does that.
In
Does that make
Vermont, it was approved
Today.
in Vermont this afternoon.
Right.
So, yet another state. It's
And the legislative powers overruled the governor's veto.
Yes.
So that's exciting news. So now there's 4 straight states you'll be able to get married in.
Yeah, that's exciting. I think to myself, what a pity that some clergy people are having trouble with realizing we're born the same as anybody else. We're not that much different. We love and want to be loved. We have love to give, and we want companionship. And I remember a bishop spoke out saying, oh, this was terribly wrong. But I know enough history to know that the Catholic Church a few centuries ago, gave house arrest to a scientist who said, the earth is not the center of the universe. The earth goes around the sun. Oh, that can't be true. And they gave him house arrest. Someday they'll wake up and realize that what they've been saying against gays and lesbians is not true either.
right, right.
And I am continuing to work for civil rights and religious rights. And whether gay couples are so hurt and fed up with the treatment they've had from religious groups that they don't want to bother with that, I know many do. And I continue to work on both levels.
Excellent.
And especially happy that you'll have the civil right beginning the end of April.
Us too.
Yes.
Us too, yes.
So thank you for being with us, Jen and Dawn.
Thank
And
you,
we're
Elsie.
glad to see you children.
Thank
They're a
you.
delight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, our pleasure.
Thanks a lot.